19 apiece as Parkway West will come away with a defensive rebound.
Another bad possession by Hickman Mills as they're shooting much too quickly.
Terrence Floyd, and the basketball goes through Brian Lloyd's hand. And neither team able to get anything together in terms of a run as we are tied at 19-19 in the first half. This is the Missouri 4A Basketball Championships. We've had in quite a while, and pretty good basketball game indoors though. 19-19 as Hickman Mills will try to work for an open shot. Carl Evans by himself can't hit a 21-footer, but it's Leon Bradley for the rebound. His shot won't go. No foul, and here comes Parkway West. But a man is hurt. Terrence Floyd may have twisted an ankle underneath, and we're going to have an official's timeout.
Well, that time there was a ton of contact underneath Terrence Floyd, a really aggressive kid. Here you see it. Here you'll see just battling for position. As we say, a lot of contact, and Floyd just gets stepped on by his own man. About Evans and Morris being critical parts of their team. This is going to hurt Parkway West clearly if this kid can't go. He may be back. They're going to have. They really do not have a pure point guard to replace Floyd with, though. So it'd be a tough loss if he can't answer the bell.
With 1:11 to play here in the half, Parkway West will bring it down, and Scott Highmark will do it himself. Brian Kilkenny also wears 32, and he has pretty much been the man assigned the impossible mission to keep his points down. Jeremy Rolla inside, and a shot is an air ball by DeLargy, and Hickman Mills and Brian Kilkenny bring it the other way.
We talked about DeLargy. If you let him set his feet, he's a good shooter. That time, Mills made him shoot a turnaround, not nearly as effective.
Early in the year, these teams respectively scored 91 and 88 points in the basketball game. Approaching halftime, we are only tied at 19 apiece as we see less than 30 seconds to play here in the half. A pass comes inside on a skip to Rod Lee, and the ball is knocked away, and Parkway West may now get the final chance to take the lead as we go to intermission. Kerry Herron works for the basketball against Morris guarding, and they get it back to Highmark in a hurry with 6 seconds to go. And Highmark, just like that, knocks it down. It is 21-19. Morris is going to have to hurry, and his shot for 3 from half court won't go. So Parkway West leads it by 2 in a low-scoring ball game as the Longhorns enjoy the slimmest of margins at 21-19. Back at the Hammond Center in Springfield, Missouri, where Parkway West leads Hickman Mills by 2 as we look at some first half statistics, Tom Hawley.
Well, we talked early on in the game about how difficult it is to shoot under pressure. There is a graphic illustration of it. Officials allowing a lot of contact underneath the basket. That's a factor, but I think tension has to be a part of it. Both teams a little tight.
Both teams playing very different types of defenses. A zone for Parkway West, man-to-man for Hickman Mills. Both have done a good job keeping the numbers down, which has something to do with it. But yet, again, neither team able to get in any kind of a rhythm, any kind of a sync on offense.
Well, Coach Soderman talked about how physical it was, and his teams can match up physically. And he's just told him to go out there and knock people around. Obviously, Kilkenny has set the tone for the game with the way he's playing Scott Highmark, and Coach Soderman has just countered.
To begin the second half of play, Parkway West will begin with possession. It's Herron to Gifford, working the ball inside. A shot won't go. Highmark with the rebound. But we're going to have a foul called inside against Parkway West. And if that's on Highmark, that would be his 3rd, and it is. That could be a factor.
Absolutely. Scott, I think, is a smart enough player that he can back off a little bit, but that's his 3rd foul. He's going to have to just tone it down a little bit, particularly defensively.
A year ago, when Raytown South went undefeated, the state champion Javon Crudup, now at the University of Missouri, played much of the second half with 4 fouls, and the Cardinals able to win that ball game. A turnover early for Hickman Mills, and the Cougars get it right back when the pass goes off the hands of Highmark, and Carl Evans will pull back and try to set up something on offense. Inside to Kilkenny with the dribble and a step. The shot won't go, but he will get a couple of tries at the free throw line to do something about a 2-point deficit.
Parkway West a little more passive in their zone. They're packing it in. I think that Coach Soderman is going to make a decision. He wants Hickman Mills to have to beat him with a jump shot. That time they made the entry pass. Kilkenny got to the free throw line, but Hickman Mills has been very dangerous at the free throw line. But Kilkenny sticks that one.
DeLargy, a big guy at 6'5", 205, but Kilkenny not intimidated, and an all-Metro linebacker in Kansas City. And as we mentioned earlier, he will play college football at the Division I level. He gets both free throws down, and we're tied at 21. Just underway here in the third period, 7:15 to play. Parkway West inside a Highmark. The shot will not go, and Kilkenny guilty of a bump inside.
That time Parkway West posted up Scott Highmark, cleared his side of the floor, made the entry pass. Kilkenny just grabbed him. So they're looking for Hickman Mills to get Kilkenny some help inside if in fact Parkway West posts Scott up.
Rod Lee talked about a back problem. He is in the lineup as we begin the third period. Highmark able to knock the free throw down. Talked about it before, a little bit before the ball game, how free throw line habits have changed. In the old days, a guy would just get the ball and shoot it. Now all sorts of hand slapping going on. Highmark that time pretty businesslike, goes up to the line, doesn't move his feet after he set, and he knocks down two, and the Longhorns back up by a couple.
Now you see that trap. Let's see if Hickman Mills can attack it. They don't. They'll pull it out.
Ray Morris with the basketball left side, playing his final game as a Cougar. Kilkenny kicks back out. Evans tempted inside, has it knocked away, but Hickman fortunate to keep possession. Talked about a diagonal pass that time to Rod Lee. Tries to work the baseline, nothing there. Morris, his pass is knocked away, and Brian Lloyd will bring it the other direction for Parkway West.
Hickman Mills really not getting much done on the offensive end.
Now they forced the pass inside, and it cost him, as Parkway West with a chance to add to a 2-point lead here in the third period. A 3-point shot from the corner. Rims out by Highmark, and it's Kilkenny underneath.
Very difficult shot.
Ray Morris to Carl Evans on a bounce inside to Kilkenny. 2-on-1. The shot won't go, but again, Bryan will get a couple at the free throw line.
Looks like Hickman Mills has made up its mind. They're going to pound the ball inside, try to get to the free throw line, try to get some layups. And meanwhile, Parkway West is just as determined not to let them do it. Look for them to back that zone up even more.
Saw Terrence Floyd go down hard in the first half of play. Let's go to Chris Gervino with an injury update.
If the Longhorns are to win the state title, they have to do so without one of their key players. Guard Terrence Floyd out for the game with a sprained ankle. It's a chronic problem. He says it's been sore for several weeks, but he sprained it today, so he's done for the season.
Brian Kilkenny trying to knock a fourth consecutive free throw down for him, but he can't do it. And we've got a whistle underneath.
Hollowell hit the ball out of bounds, trying for the offensive rebound.
Parkway with the basketball up by 1 with just over 6 minutes to play here in the third period. Man-to-man defense again. Highmark able to get by Kilkenny, but his shot won't go. Followed by DeLargy is no good. Again a try, and controlling the offensive board. Parkway West able to get numerous opportunities. They can't get a shot to go, but we've got a foul.
Well, once again, we talked about the entry pass. There you saw the entry pass to Scott Highmark. As they helped, as the double team came, Scott got the ball out the glass, and the physicalness of Parkway West inside and able to just keep pounding away on the boards. Lee's going to sit down. Just not getting enough done off the defensive boards.
Right, Rod Lee will come out shaking his head, obviously with some disappointment. DeLargy over to Highmark, who takes it to the hole. Again, the shot won't go. A tip by Gifford will count, though, and it's 25-22. The Longhorns back up by 3.
Just a terrible, terrible defensive stand by Hickman Mills. Parkway West got about 7 shots that time.
Hickman Mills, Ray Morris from 16 feet. And like that, Cougars back within a point. Couple of pretty good guards working out top. Gifford a strong night with 10 rebounds in the semifinals. That time he'll see a turnover, and Hickman back the other way.
Good job by Kilkenny.
Ray Morris from 20 feet away, and he has a 3-pointer, and it's Hickman Mills back on top, 27-25.
Running their half-court offense with a lot more crispness. Better cuts that time, more confident.
Inside to Highmark with a nice move on Hallowell that time, and his shot will go, and we are tied at 27.
Well, Parkway West just pounded it inside to Scott Highmark. That time Hallowell a little late with the help.
Ray Morse working, dishes it off to Hollowell, who gets the flush to go. And we've got a seesaw game with the Cougars back up by a couple.
Once again, both teams running their half-court offense much more effectively.
A lot of people in Kansas City perhaps surprised by the success of this basketball team, yet they beat everyone that they had to beat. You talk about some pretty good basketball teams in a Raytown South and a Rockhurst and a Blue Springs, but Coach Miller told me last night he had a feeling that this freshman group, when they were freshmen, could be a pretty good unit. Brian Kilkenny, one of the guys that's done a nice job for them. And
there you saw it, though. They posted up Scott Highmark again. That's Parkway West offensive strategy.
So Dan Miller will draw it up on the board with his team on top by a couple, 29-27. Come back out, the fans enjoying a tight ball game, and Hickman Mills coach Dan Miller kept his troops on the bench a little bit longer to talk about it.
Caliber of play really picked up here.
Highmark, his shot from the side won't go, and it's Kilkenny ripping down a rebound. Anyway, talked about Dan Miller talking about having a good feeling about his team. He took them to a team camp after this class was freshmen. They went to Mizzou, to the Hearn Center, and he told the group that if they kept working hard, this team could perhaps play and win a state championship game. That time, Claude Harris, a junior, puts Cougars by 4.
Credit Ray Morris. 4 great possessions by Ray Morris. He stuck 2 jump shots, made 2 great entry passes. He's taken over this basketball game on the offensive end for Hickman Mills.
Foul inside will go against Brian Kilkenny, and we've mentioned that he is the guy responsible for not letting Highmark get too much, and we had some contact that was called inside.
Here you see it. Now here you'll see they're running Scott Highmark through a pick. Once again, there's a little hold. Truthfully, that's the way they've been playing the whole day.
But it does go against Kilkenny as Highmark hangs in the lane and gets a shot from Kroll to go down. And it's 31-29. Hickman Mills' lead is only 2 at the 3:24 mark. Been a good basketball game. Never seen much more than about a 3-point advantage either way. That time a Hickman Mills turnover. The pass by Carl Evans was too tall for his teammate Claude Harris, and Parkway West will come the other way.
Poor decision by Evans, who tried to do too much with the basketball.
Highmark, a workhorse. Most of the time will play 32 minutes of ball game, and he doesn't even seem to be breathing hard. His teammate Heron up top over to Gifford. Being guarded now by Kilkenny as they switch up. Heron's shot won't go. Underneath the rebound by Brian Lloyd. Puts it back up and in. Won't go, but a foul is going to be called on Jeremy Rollo.
4th team foul on Parkway West. Next time, both teams in the bonus. Both teams with 4 fouls right now. Once again, Rollo, the big man. There you see some contact, but Rollo apparently
pretty much a mismatch as we're in around Evans' head area. Pretty good difference in size there. Ray Morse operating the basketball with 31-29. A bounce pass inside is taken away by Heron. So this time down the floor, Parkway West with a chance to tie with the 2. A 3 would put him on top. Gifford again guarded by Kilkenny. Back to Gifford. Rollo works, and the ball knocked out of bounds, and it went off of Rollo's leg. And Hickman Mills will take the basketball the other direction. Joe DeLargy comes back in for Parkway West.
Scott Highmark's going to sit down. They use in the Parkway West rotation. Scott Highmark does come out usually at this time of the game. I thought with all the timeouts, he might not tonight.
Turnover advantage or disadvantage. You saw there a moment ago. Cougars with 10, Parkway West with 9. 2-point ball game. Cougars on top. Just over 2 minutes to play here. Ray Morris, the try for 3 won't go. Kilkenny with the rebound. The shot back up won't go, but he will go to the free throw line and try to get to the free throw line
Ray Morris, a little quick with that jump shot that time. Here you see Kilkenny come down with the rebound. Good pump fake, and he gets hammered by DeLargy. Good foul.
Body's really banging. Pretty good pass rusher on the football field. Brian Kilkenny, an outside linebacker. Said it before, going to Weber State on a football scholarship. His first free throw works its way out. So he'll have to settle for 1 out of 2 if he could get this one to go. And it's right on the money. 32-29. Hickman Mills leading Parkway West at the 1:57 mark, third period. Score Hickman Mills over Parkway West as we check out the 3A boys third place game from earlier today. It was Osage over Mexico in a thrill of 69-68. Girls third place game went to overtime, even closer. Benton beat Perryville 62-61. 4A boys consolation, Rockbridge over Parkway Central 55-51 as we see a transition bucket, the first one of those in a long time. It's 32-31 Hickman.
Hickman Mills came out of the timeout in a press. Parkway West just threw it right over the top.
And Brian Lloyd a little bit too aggressive as a double team worked on Carl Evans, and he was fouled along the side. The Cougars enjoying it. You can tell obviously their school colors are orange and white. A lot of orange at football games in the fall, and they've done a nice job supporting the basketball program as well. Carl Evans will go to the line, shoot 1 plus the bonus now with his team on top by a point at 32-31, and he will get a second free throw. Evans, like his backcourt mates, Ray Morris, with a couple of big free throws inside of 2 minutes last night as they were able to win a semifinal game over Parkway Central, which we showed you a consolation afternoon loser to Rockbridge. 34-31. Hickman Mills now by 3 with 1:35 to play, third period.
Big part of the basketball game for Parkway West. Points very difficult to come by. They need to maintain contact with Scott Highmark out of the game.
Brian Lloyd can't hit from 17 feet, but we've got a foul underneath on the defense. Goes against Hickman Mills.
Rollo going to the free throw line. We do not have free throw shooting statistics. Here you see it. Good body up by Rollo. He establishes his position, just turns his man and gets pushed. Good job establishing post position by the big guy.
Rollo's free throw off the front of the rim won't go, and Hollowell has been fairly quiet offensively. Takes down the rebound. It's Carl Evans kicking back out. Morris inside to Bradley, who might not have been prepared for that pass. And Parkway West comes to the other end, down by 3.
Morris has made good decisions in the last 3 or 4 minutes of this quarter. That time, not a good one.
Not far away from Bradley, and it might have surprised him as it whipped in there. Now Parkway West with a chance to get a little bit closer in this basketball game. Longhorns down by 3, and we've got a travel called against Heron, although he's not terribly happy about it.
56 seconds to go in the quarter. See if Hickman will try to hold it for the last shot. I look for him to spread the floor, run some time. They want to take a lead into the fourth quarter. Let's see if Parkway West comes out. Oh, no. There's a little contact away from the basketball.
And indeed, by spreading out the basketball, it would appear Hickman wants the one shot, and we've got a foul called on Jeremy Rollo away from the basketball.
Well, let me just say this. Bradley just hit Gifford in the mouth with an elbow they didn't see, and Rollo comes up to put in his 2 cents where he gets called for the foul. Now, Bradley, a terrible free throw shooter. I'm not sure this is the best news for Hickman Mills. We'll see.
Leon is a 6'5" junior.
As I said.
He heard you. 35-31 is our score. Leon Bradley will get a second free throw. Rod Lee comes into the ball game. Mark Hollowell, a 6'6" senior, will sit down for Dan Miller's team. Cougars up by 4. Bradley's second free throw will not go, but an offensive rebound by Claude Harris. Parkway West will take it the other way.
Harris should have thrown that ball back out.
26 seconds remaining and counting here in the third period. Parkway West down by 4 with the basketball, and another foul away, and it's called on Leon Bradley as he shakes his head.
Bradley really out of control inside. He as I say, he hit Gifford in the mouth before. Now Rollo stepped up, took a shot at him. Now Bradley goes back at Rollo.
Dan Miller shaking his head as the foul is called against his 6'5" juniors. One of the guys he almost considers a starter. Feels like he has 8 guys that can play and Jeremy Rollo could certainly play for Parkway West as he bangs down the first free throw.
Rollo, a transfer from the state of Florida. Parkway, kind of it's an upper end area of St. Louis, but kind of a transitional area. A lot of people move in and out of there. Rollo moving in from Florida. His father, a music director at a Presbyterian church in West County.
And his son hit a couple of free throws as the Longhorns come within 2 at 35-33. 12 seconds and counting as you see the score clock on your screen. Shot inside by Lee, won't go, and Gifford fires it up, perhaps rushed the shot with a couple of seconds remaining, and he appeared to twist an ankle as we have 0.7 seconds left, and Gifford has to be helped up by Rollo.
Things are really getting rough. I talked to George Blaze, the director of officials, before the game. They grade the officials, so these are the best the state has to offer, and they're doing a good job, but officiating in high school basketball is just allowing more contact.
Hickman Mills could not do much besides the heave-ho, which did not work. Innovation in television asked to see a zenith. And we begin the final 8 minutes of play, which will determine the boys' championship in Class 4A basketball. Hickman Mills with the ball, leading by 2 at 35-33. You want a close ball game, you got it. These guys have never been more than about 3 or 4 points away from each other, and the Cougars, like the Longhorns, both walking out onto the floor before the final period with an air of confidence. That time the ball knocked loose, but Hickman Mills able to go back court and get it, and Carl Morris will walk it the other way. Neither team straying from their defensive strategy. We've seen a zone defense as Hickman throws the ball away. Evans unable to save it. Claude Harris tried to on the sideline, but Parkway West will get it back.
Look for Parkway West to post up Sky at Highmark again. They did it pretty effectively in the third quarter. Scott's jump shot not going, but they're going to play him inside. Meanwhile, Hickman Mills has put a quicker man on him. Harris much quicker than Kilkenny.
Claude Harris, a 6'2 junior, guarding the big guy. Highmark, and it's Morris on an outlet pass to Carl Evans. Just over 7 minutes to play. Evans with a hanging shot doesn't go, but Kilkenny an offensive rebound, and the shot goes up, and we've got some bouncing going inside. And
we said it before, this game's getting out of hand. There was a cheap shot before. Here you're going to see it. Here you see the contact. There you see Kilkenny. He'll go up strong. Bang, bang, bang. Gifford takes a swing at him. Gifford hits him with a shoulder. Kilkenny's not backing down from anybody. I tell you what, we're going to go hard. We've got 6:58 to go. Temper's a little short, and I'll tell you what, I like this style of officiating, but it's a little rough right now.
Now, nobody ever said basketball was not a contact sport. Football is a collision sport, but basketball is certainly a contact sport. There is going to be some. Kilkenny able to knock down the first free throw as the Cougars go back up by 3.
Kilkenny, a tough kid. Gifford stood nose to nose with him.
His second will not count, and Highmark there for the rebound with the Longhorns behind by 3. 6:52 to play here in the ballgame. This Longhorn group undefeated as freshmen. They will not be undefeated as seniors, but they can get the big prize. State championship in boys Class 4A. Heron left side knocks down the jumper, and it's 36-35.
Big shot by Heron, who doesn't shoot very much. Been a big win over Kirkwood. He stepped up in the fourth quarter and knocked down 3 straight jump shots, so he's capable of it.
Evans open from 20 and counting. Carl Evans.
Suddenly the guys are stepping up. Carl Evans, quiet for a while, just stands up and sticks a jump shot. He did the same thing last night against Parkway Central.
To get to this point, you have to play in some pressure ball games, and neither team showing any kind of a letdown in terms of being intimidated by a big hand. A shot by Brian Lloyd counts, and again the difference is only 1. Hickman Mills 39-38. Cougars coming the offensive way.
Parkway West more aggressive with their trap. They're picking up their defensive intensity.
39-37 as we correct ourselves. Shot by Morris. Not there, but Carl Evans again works inside for the rebound. On a bounce to Hollowell. Turnaround jumper for the baseline, no, and it's Gifford the other way, and an outlet to Heron.
Heron and Lloyd. 2 jump shots in a row for Parkway West.
Jeremy Rollo thought about it for a moment. Highmark, no problem putting it up, and it's Carl Evans with the defensive rebound. slows down momentarily and kicks it back out to Hollowell. No shot clock in high school basketball, so Cougars, like the Longhorns, able to take as much or as little time as they like on possessions as we work down inside the 5-minute mark.
Hickman Mills has a chance to really pull the ball out and try to get Parkway West to come out of the zone. I don't think they'll do it. What they'll do is come out and trap the basketball. I don't think they can make Parkway West play a man-to-man in the half-court.
Claude Harris, a super sub, fouled by Brian Lloyd, and Harris will go to the free throw line and shoot a couple.
Here you see Harris once again, a little contact by Kerry Heron. Free throw shooting, obviously very critical at this point. And Hickman Mills, big liability on the free throw line.
Well, they did not do a good job yesterday. Inside the final 2 minutes, they were improved over the rest of the ball game. Hit some big free throws in that win over Parkway Central. A second shot by Claude Harris goes down to make it 40-37 Hickman Mills. By True Value Hardware. When you have a tough job to do, you can do it with True Value Hardware stores. As we look at the numbers, Tom, take it away.
Well, there you see it. Same story we saw earlier. Neither team shooting the basketball very well. Once again, we've talked about how physical this is. This game's going to the wire. Every position critical. It's whoever can stand up and shoot that jump shot. Heron and Lloyd just hit 2 for Parkway West. Evans 1 for Hickman Mills. Scott Highmark real quiet from the perimeter.
Neither team terrific from the free throw line, but Hickman Mills shooting 17 times, 9 for Parkway West. So they've obviously had more chances to make points from the line. Parkway West with the basketball, down by 3 with 4:35 to play here in the boys' 4A championship game.
Better spacing in their half-court offense this time.
Brian Lloyd with an air ball, throws it over everything, and it's Kilkenny for Hickman Mills. And Ray Morris will walk it down the floor.
Big possession for Hickman Mills. If Hickman Mills can score here and get a stop, I look for them to spread it out. In fact, they're spreading it out now. I don't think they can shoot free throws well enough to be able to hold the basketball for 4 minutes.
Parkway West likes that zone defense, play it primarily, but they bring it up top. Let the defense come to that spread game, but it's Morris passing over to Carl Evans. 3:54 and counting. Hickman Mills leading it by 3. Pass by Evans was batted away by Gifford, and Brian Lloyd brings it on the transition. The shot won't go, but a foul. And Ray Morris wants to make sure there's no bad blood there.
Here you see it, though. Hickman Mills unable to control the ball well enough to hold it. Here you see a lot of contact. Lloyd will go to the line for 2.
Talked about sportsmanship earlier in the basketball game, and that time Morris wanted to make sure that Lloyd didn't go down and land on his head if possible, and Brian will get a couple free throw opportunities.
I felt like Hickman Mills was running their half-court offense pretty well at that point. I think they spread it out a little early. I think that they need another basket before they spread it. Let's see what they do next time down the floor.
And Parkway West with that free throw miss, now 5 out of 10 from the line. Lloyd a second shot, and it bangs out. Fight for the offensive defensive rebound, and we've got a
Parkway West possession.
And on the possession arrow, it will go to the Longhorns.
Credit that possession to Rollo, who kept that offensive rebound alive.
Well, if you miss football, we've had some football-like action at times.
Really have, as we've said, it is rough.
Fair to say some guys will have some pretty good bumps and bruises tomorrow, but the ones that wake up with that gold medal as state champions won't hurt quite so bad. 40-37 our score. Hickman Mills leading a good Parkway West team from St. Louis with 3 minutes and 40 seconds to play. Anybody biting their nails? Might be somebody along there. Kerry Heron works up top, gets it to Gifford, and the ball batted away momentarily by Kilkenny. But Rollo able to get it back, and a foul is called.
Rollo somewhat not exactly agile going to the basket, but he draws the foul. Here you see it. Rollo catches the ball on the block. He puts the ball on the floor. You say he got grabbed.
So Jeremy will get a couple of tries from the line with his team down by 3. 3:29 to play, and this gymnasium, folks, is packed. there is not an empty seat.
Rollo has done some good things for Parkway West. He kept that last rebound alive. He stepped up and hit a big free throw there.
6'7", a junior. He has another year left as he gets another free throw down, and it's 40-39. Hickman Mills' lead is only one. As Carl Evans works the ball right in front of the student section, the orange standing up, applauding his team. To Ray Morris. Just over 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go.
Hickman Mills a little passive.
Ball knocked away by Brian Lloyd, but Morris able to get it back and bring it the other way. Good defensive pressure that time as they trap the basketball. Evans will put some mileage in, work around, and get it back to Morris. And Hickman is content to take its time and perhaps find somebody asleep inside, get an easy bucket.
They've got to try to score here, Dave. They cannot hold the basketball for 3 minutes. And as we said, I don't think they're good enough free throw shooters.
Leon Bradley, who has not done much at the free throw line, is out of the ball game. They want to make sure that if Parkway West goes to a strategy where they need to foul somebody, and just like that, a turnover, ball taken away by Gifford.
We talked about it. There's a line between prudence and passivity, and I think Hickman Mills is way too passive on the offensive end.
With that whistle, let's go down now to our sideline reporter, Chris Gervino. Chris?
Well, you see Scott Highmark taking it to the hole there. Dave, both coaches very much aware of that one young man's presence. Dan Miller at Hickman Mills said, be sure you know where Highmark is at all times. Early in the quarter, he said this to his players. And Bill Soderman at Parkway West told his team, hey, they're going to be all over Highmark. If that happens, you other guys are shooters too. Be willing to step up and take the shot. He stressed good form on the shooting of all his players.
And we know where he is right now, and that is at the free throw line, trying to get a second, which would put his Longhorns up by 1. We are tied at 40. 2:22 left to go. Don't you dare go away. 19 points for Highmark. His 20th will not come just yet as we go down the other way. Tied at 40. 2:15 and counting. And we've got a whistle. A timeout. Hickman Mills wants to talk about it this afternoon's ballgame.
Hickman Mills have had 2 really poor possessions in the offensive end the last 2 times. We've gotten very passive, allowed Parkway West to be very aggressive, and obviously Coach Miller is going to go at the basket this time.
Hickman goes into the final 2 minutes with the knowledge of a good 2 minutes, ending their semifinal win last night over Parkway Central, as they were able to put that ball game away, and now they work with the basketball at a tie score at 40 as we're down to 1:46.
Parkway West, now they're passive. The last couple possessions, they've been more aggressive. Let's see if they come out and chase the basketball. Yeah, here they come.
Claude Harris, the only non-starter on the floor for Hickman Mills. Rod Lee, a 6'6 junior with back problems, in and out of the ball game. He is out right now as we tick down to 1:25.
Parkway West staying back in there. Tell you what, here they come.
Lloyd and Gifford will come out and provide some pressure. And it's Kilkenny, the senior, who works against a 2-on-1 trapping press. Now Morris over to Evans. We are over a minute. Minute 6 and counting.
Game clock at 1:04. Once they get under a minute, they're almost going to have to hold it. Now that they've held it this long.
Evans back out to Ray Morris. And we are working now down to tenths of a second. 52-51. And you can watch it there and know what our score is. We are even at 40 with 44 seconds remaining and a whistle. And Hickman Mills wants to talk about it.
Good trapping defense.
Ray Morris, talented senior, will throw it into Carl Evans in the backcourt as we tick down inside of 40. Both teams waiting each other out perhaps to see if somebody's going to make a mistake. Kilkenny back to Morris. 40-40 our score, 28 seconds to go. Kilkenny a long way for the basketball, probably intended as pass to Morris, and Carl Evans ended up with it as we tick down to 16 seconds. At some point very soon, Hickman has to start working the ball toward the goal.
Get the ball to Morris.
Will they foul? Not on purpose. A shot by Morris. And an offensive foul called on Ray Morris with just over 5 seconds to play.
Ray Morris going to the basket. Offensive foul, Parkway West basketball.
And a timeout on the floor. We're going to throw that at Chris Gervino. He's going to talk about it because we are tied at 40 with 5.3 seconds as we look at not good field goal shooting today as we look at the three-pointers. And again, the score tied at 40. It is Highmark across the court. And did he step out of bounds? The official right in front of us says yes. Hickman Mills gets it back. Carl Evans calls a timeout, and Hickman gets the ball back with 1.6 seconds to play.
They need to throw the ball towards their basket. They've been stuck on 40 for a long time. There's Ray Morris. He can't catch the ball.
And how do you like that? Kilkenny's pass, thrown hard, goes off the hands of Morris and out of bounds. And now Parkway West will get it back with 0.6 seconds, so we lost a second.
Well, that was a pretty quick second, and now we're down to hopes and prayers. I doubt that Bill Soderman has really a play that he can get the shot off that quick. Here you see it. As we say, they've got to throw the ball towards their basket. Kilkenny a little hard. Morris can't catch it. Now it's Parkway West basketball. They've got to go.
With overtime staring them in the face unless somebody can score in 0.6 seconds. Aaron's pass to Highmark from 15 feet. And we are going to overtime. Highmark with a chance from the free throw line, and a 15-foot jumper would not go down. So it'll take overtime to determine it. Tied at 40 between Hickman Mills and Parkway to Mr. Highmark.
Well, they, in talking to official Bob Maurer, he said had that shot gone, they were going to count it. So Parkway West got a great shot with 0.6 of a second to go, and they get the possession to start the overtime. First basket, very critical here.
3 minutes they put back on the clock, so it will not take 32 to find a winner. But it's really no surprise. This is our third overtime of the day. 2 earlier consolation games went to overtime, and Highmark starts the extra period with a shot, and he'll have a chance for a 3-point play.
That time they ran Scott Highmark off a pick off the baseline, which they tend to do off of timeouts. That time Kilkenny came out and knocked him down. Scott knocked his shot down.
It took 18 seconds into the extra period for somebody to score, and who else? Scott Highmark with a chance to make it a 3-point lead, and he does. 43-40. Cougars down by 3. Bill Soderman up applauding his team, which has taken an early lead here in the overtime period.
Hickman Mills did not score in the last 4:53 of regulation as they got extremely passive in the half court.
But they did get to overtime where they now trail by 3. 2:23 remaining here in the extra period. One of these teams going to celebrate in a special way a first title, winning it in overtime as the ball is taken away, and another Hickman turnover. Late in the game, the Cougars did a better job not giving it away, had some early problems, and again here in the overtime, and it's Highmark with 5 points in the OT, and it's 45-40 the Longhorn.
Scott Highmark has got a lot of points, but has been relatively quiet. Now when it's time to step up, he's done it.
To Brian Kilkenny, who drives the baseline, and as he has done many times today, will draw the foul and go to the free throw line. And it's Jeremy Rollo with
Here you see
the foul.
Kilkenny. He's not real smooth, but he's strong. He goes in, gets the contact, and go to the free throw line.
But he's quick. Did you see it?
Well, that was very quick. You're right. Very great quickness. Now, Scott Highmark's asking his coach if he wants to run some clock.
Kilkenny unable to hit the first free throw. His team down by 5 with 1:48 to play. Bill Soderman, you saw him briefly, shouting instructions to his team. Leon Bradley will check back in right now as Kilkenny hits the second free throw to make it 45-41. Leon Bradley comes in. Mark Hollowell, who has not really been much of a factor today offensively, will sit down.
Full court pressure by Hickman Mills. Last time, Parkway West threw it over the top.
45-41 our score. Parkway West on top. Highmark.
If I'm Hickman Mills, I'm going to foul somebody really early. I want a lot of possessions in the last minute 36.
And the guy they don't want to foul is the man right now with the basketball, Scott Highmark.
Right, but they can run this half-court offense.
Inside to Highmark, and he has all 7 points for the Longhorns in the overtime, and the lead is now 6. 47-41 Parkway West. Ray Morris nearly lost the basketball. A try for three goes down. And it's 47-44 on a three-pointer by Morris. And we've got a timeout. And we're going to take a break right here and show you Morris.
They called
like a three-pointer.
It was a three. They missed the call.
Yeah, they gave him two. So it's 47-43. A two-pointer credited to Ray Morris instead of a three, and his team, Hickman Mills, down by 4. Parkway West with the ball. 1 minute, 6 seconds remaining.
Once again, Parkway West wanting the ball in the hands of Scott Highmark.
But it's Heron with the basketball, and he does get it back to Highmark now. Jeremy Rollo, guarded by Mark Hollowell, and a foul is called with 53.5 seconds to play. 47-43 our score. Parkway West leading it by 4, but Rollo will go to the line and shoot a free throw.
Rollo's done some good things in this basketball game. He's a big body. He's kept Hollowell pretty much in check, obviously, and kept some balls alive. Made a couple free throws.
And he has a chance here to be the only Longhorn to score besides Highmark in the overtime, and he does. Jeremy Rollo, 6'7" junior, will get a second free throw, with Parkway West now leading it by 5. 48-43 our score. And the second one bounces in. 49-46, and that's the biggest deficit, the biggest difference in the ball game as the Longhorns lead it by 6. Morris for three. Shot won't go, and a rebound. Carl Evans will get behind the three-point line of Morris. His shot for three goes down. 49-46, and we've got a timeout on the floor. 0.1 seconds to go. Longhorns with the basketball and a lead of 3. Highmark the story in the overtime with 7 points. Jeremy Rollo with a couple from the free throw line, and Highmark is the guy that they want with the basketball. He gets fouled, he will get a free throw, perhaps 2 if he can hit the first hit of the bonus. And the foul on Brian Kilkenny.
Hickman Mills needed to foul Rollo on the inbound. 7 seconds off the clock. Much better shooter on the line.
And a foul out. That is going to be it for Brian Kilkenny. He has played his final moment of high school basketball. Brian leaves us with the score 49-46. His Hickman Mills team down by 3. And Rod Lee, who we talked about earlier, being one of the top players of this Cougar team, but bothered by back problems, will come in for the final 31.4 seconds. Kilkenny, one of the reasons that Hickman Mills perhaps didn't play here a year ago. They lost a tough game to Raytown South in the districts. Coach Miller told us beforehand that he thought if Kilkenny had been healthy, they might have been able to knock off Raytown South. Of course, you never know. As we watch Highmark hit his 8th point of the overtime, it is now 50-46, and we've got a timeout on the floor. Only 3, now back to 4, and Highmark will get another free throw. He's going to be a dandy in college. I think he's only going to get better as a player.
Well, Scott, nobody works any harder than this kid.
Hickman Mills fans watching as the second one rattles home, and the Cougar deficit is 5 at 51-46. Ray Morris with pressure brings it across. As Evans, a three-pointer from 22 feet won't go, but the ball knocked out of bounds. Parkway West, and Hickman Mills will keep it underneath its own basket with 20.2 seconds.
Hickman Mills really does not need a 3 at this point. They need a basket.
Morris, a try for 3 from the corner won't go. Rod Lee with the rebound. Back to Morris. Again for 3, and he'll count it. 51-49. As you see the clock ticking inside of 10 seconds to play. And a foul underneath. And Scott Highmark will shoot 1-and-1 with his team trying to protect and add to a 2-point advantage.
Here you'll see Morris. He had a couple tries at it. He backs it up, loads it up. Count it. There you see Ray Morris loading it up. Ray Morris had a chance to win the game in regulation. Got down the lane and charged, but he has been terrific in overtime.
By Scott Highmark, you see his numbers from the free throw line. 6 out of 9. Make it 7 out of 10.
Here's the one that
goes back to 3. Yeah, this is the big one, obviously, because the three-pointer would tie it. If he can't hit it, with 6.1 seconds, and that makes it a 4-point difference with just over 6 seconds to play. In a hurry, Carl Evans loses the basketball to Heron, down to Gifford for the dunk, the only one of the game, Matt Gifford. As Parkway West will celebrate its first ever boys state basketball championship in Class 4A. The Longhorns win it 53-49, and that was the man that made it happen, Scott Highmark.
We talked about him all day long. Scott had a tough shooting day. They posted him up in the second half. When it came time to win the basketball game, Scott Highmark stood up and was counted.
It's been a pleasure as we see the Longhorns celebrate. They win a first ever title, 53-49 over Hickman Mills High School. I'm Dave Stewart with Tom Hawley for our entire SNI crew saying thanks for watching. So long, everybody.